Sally, we're sitting here in a different location at the pit. How different was this year's basketball state tournament as opposed to last year when the pandemic first hit?
Well, I tell you what, the semifinals and the finals last year, we had nobody in the stands. You know, this year we had a crowd. Yes, it was a little bit smaller than it was in years past, but the energy was still here. It was back. The kids were participating, coaches were coaching. It was such a neat environment, and it just felt so good just to see the kids on the floor competing, masks, no masks, it didn't matter. We were back here as a unit, as a state of New Mexico, into one of the greatest events that we have.
How much of a challenge was it having home sites and neutral sites those first couple rounds, and do you anticipate doing that again next year for state basketball?
We anticipate to be back to a little bit of normalcy next year, so we anticipate where we are here in the metro area, you know, on a Tuesday through Saturday for state basketball. You know, was it challenging? Yes, it was very challenging in the quarterfinals or semifinals, but I would say that the kids did a great job. Athletic directors working together to make sure that we had good ball games and good sites for the ones that were traveling, neutral sites. It was a great environment, and once again, we came together as a state to make this happen for kids.
This same building will host State Spirit this coming weekend. What can fans expect for that event?
Well, right now it's quiet in this building, and it's not going to be quiet next weekend. You know, we will have cheer on Friday and dance on Saturday, and the little bit of a difference will be that the cheerleaders and the dancers, they're going to do 2 routines in one day. So they're going to come into the pit, they're going to warm up, they're going to do a performance, they will be able to rest, and dancers will be able to change clothes, and they'll come back again and do another performance. So that is a big difference for Spirit. But I want to tell you, JP, this place will be rocking next weekend as well, because those cheerleaders and the dancers, they have a lot to compete against. They want to compete. They didn't get to compete last year. So the excitement is there, and we're going to have a quality event.
How can fans get tickets for State Spirit?
You know, tickets will go on sale either Monday or Tuesday, and that will depend on the University of New Mexico. They can get tickets at golobos.com. In cheer, we're going to have 2 sessions. We'll have a morning session, and then we'll have an afternoon session. So they need to buy tickets for the session that they want to see. Now, like I said, once they perform, they're going to leave the arena. So I anticipate that the fans will leave also. However, again, we will have fans in the stands. Parents will be able to see their athlete compete, and we will have another quality event, something that we missed last year, but we're so excited to have this year.
State swimming and diving also takes place this weekend. With Bernalillo County going to turquoise, does that change anything when it comes to spectators? Are fans allowed at state swimming and diving?
Well, I would tell you, just as state swimming and diving, we're doing basketball. We have Spirit and swimming and diving. We're very busy. However, kids are able to compete. And we talked about this at the beginning, making sure everybody gets to do the sport that they love. As far as swimming and diving, even though Bernalillo County is turquoise, it is 33% for spectators. And the amount of athletes we have, even though we're separating genders, girls on Thursday and the boys on Saturday, the amount of athletes that you can have in that facility exceeds the 33%. So we are not able to have spectators in that facility. However, we will stream them on NFHS network, and we will make sure the parents are able to see every event.
Lastly, we finished fall sports. We're close to putting a wrap on winter sports. How confident are you spring sports will continue and get their deserved culminating events?
You know, the goal has always been we're going to play every sport in the 2021 school year. We're halfway there. We're about ready to finish the winter sports, and spring sports are competing right now. I am very confident that we're going to get to the finish line. But in order to get to the finish line, we got to remember we're still in COVID. We're still in a pandemic. So we need to make sure we mask wear, and I know it's getting hotter and the masks are getting tougher, but that is what we need to do to get to the finish line. Spectators need to make sure they social distance. We are able to watch outdoor sports now, so we need to make sure that we're following all those guidelines so that those kids can have their culminating event in the spring. That has been so important to me, JP, from the beginning, because spring sports did not get that state championship or a season last year, and we want to make sure that happens for kids this year. So all I'm asking is that everybody, let's come together Even though we finished fall, we're about ready to finish winter. We need to continue to the governor's self orders so that we can get to the finish line and those spring sports can have a culminating event.